So I experienced the exact same thing. Real space got crowded, everyone started doing the same, so I shifted. AI space exploded, and again, now everyone started teaching ChatGPT for Instagram, ChatGPT for marketing, and everyone was like all of a sudden a ChatGPT expert. And again, I start to feel uninspired, but more than that, I start comparing myself to others, like other AI coaches, other people that were sharing ChatGPT prompts for Instagram, and their content was performing much better than mine. I was like, why? Like, why is we're sharing the exact same content, but mine is underperforming and theirs is blowing up. So I started doubting my voice. And deep down inside, I knew that it was because I was not in alignment. Hello, friend. Welcome back to the Awakened Entrepreneur Show. I am Juan Galan, your host, and I am very excited for another solo episode because today I'm going to be talking about a topic that I know every creator and entrepreneur dreads, and that is niching down. But I'm going to be sharing why niching down, and I niche down a lot actually, why did it almost kill my creativity, led to burnout, to exhaustion, and eventually to realizing that we're not here to niche down. We're not niches, we're souls. We're multidimensional, multi-passionate, and people want to see all of that. That's what you need to be in order to connect at a deeper level. So I'm going to take you back to the beginning of my journey. And I know that I've shared this story so many times, but it's because it really marked my whole journey. I started my business back in 2021 as an Instagram and content creation coach. That's what I was doing. That's what I was good at. And that's what I thought that people needed at the moment, right? And I built a very successful business by following all the rules, but it nearly killed my creativity and my drive for building a business, really. And what's funny is that during my first months, I would say, as an Instagram coach, I saw this great opportunity in the Reels space because Reels were brand new and I happened to be good at Reels and my Reels were popping off and I was going viral and growing thousands of followers per day thanks to my Reels. So obviously, I'm the kind of person who, whenever he sees an opportunity, he seizes it. And I was like, there's an opportunity here. I'm good at Reels. I'm good at short form video. Let's go for it. So I niched down even more to being a Reels coach, riding the trend, and it worked really well. I launched one of my most successful courses up to date, which was called the Explode with Reels course. I'm not sure if any of you listening or watching were part of that. It was actually a pretty good course and it was only $47. And I made $15,000 in 1 week. I was mind blown because, first of all, I had never seen that much money so fast in my life. And you could be saying, like, whoa, Juan, you niched down and it worked. It worked temporarily because what happened is that obviously more people started riding the wave. And more people became Reels coaches, and everyone started to share like the best hooks for your Reels, the best trending audio for your Reels, the best transitions for your Reels. And to be fair, I am an innovator. Whenever I see a lot of people doing the same thing that I'm doing, I just need to stop that. I need to do something different. I like to innovate and I like to differentiate myself to stand out. It's just part of my personality. And I just didn't want to like be part of what the masses were doing or what the crowds were doing. So I kind of niched up again a little bit. And again, I started doing more like content creation kind of tips and Instagram for business. So more than just Reels, like how to make money as a business owner on Instagram. To be fair, it wasn't really fulfilling me that much and it wasn't really working. Like my engagement and reach and views, it all dropped a lot. And it was really, really hitting me in the ego because, of course, I built that brand as a Reels coach that worked so well. I was getting millions of views. I was selling thousands of dollars in courses and coaching, and not seeing that anymore really, really affected me. So at the beginning of 2023, we all know what happened. The ChatGPT era started, AI boom. And again, I spotted an opportunity. So I started learning about AI and ChatGPT. And it was working really, really well for me. And I saw other people just using it for like the most basic stuff, like, Instagram captions, hooks, which by the way, if you don't know how to train ChatGPT for hooks, it's going to give you the worst hooks ever. But I saw an opportunity there and I was like, okay, let's do that. So I started teaching about AI for marketing, AI for Instagram growth. I launched my first course, the AI powered creatorpreneur, and it did really well actually. It was like a hybrid course with group coaching kind of thing. And then I launched my AI guide, which did really well again. So again, I kind of found this new niche and it worked for a bit because it felt fresh, innovative, but that pivot worked until it didn't. Not because it wasn't working externally, like things looked good and clients were coming and growth was maybe not growing as fast as when I did the whole Reels thing, but I started to grow my account again. I felt like my soul was being drained. Like again, I took myself out of one box and put myself into another box. So it felt like each time I found a new box to fit into, which felt very exciting at first, but eventually it led to suffocation. And that's when the box became the cage. So I experienced the exact same thing. Real space got crowded, everyone started doing the same, so I shifted. AI space exploded, and again, now everyone started teaching ChatGPT for Instagram, ChatGPT for marketing, and everyone was like all of a sudden a ChatGPT expert. And again, I started to feel uninspired, but more than that, I started comparing myself to others, like other AI coaches, other people that were sharing ChatGPT prompts for Instagram, and their content was performing much better than mine. I was like, why? Like, why is we're sharing the exact same content, but mine is underperforming and theirs is blowing up. So I started doubting my voice. And deep down inside, I knew that it was because I was not in alignment with what my soul wanted to share, with what I came to this world for. But there was this limiting belief in my mind that was like, this is what people know me for. What if they leave if I change? So that belief kept me stuck for a year, all throughout 2023, and even up to mid 2024, where I just couldn't anymore. I could say that I was feeling a bit soulless online. And yes, things were working. In 2024, I think May, I launched the IGA Accelerator, which is a course on how to use ChatGPT to grow on Instagram. Because at the beginning of the year, I started a new Instagram account just to focus on AI. And that account blew up and I did it all using ChatGPT, which by the way, if you're interested in that course, it's one of my top selling courses as well. I'm sharing the link in the show notes and description of the video on YouTube. And that course, again, it exploded and it made me a lot of money. But the success wasn't fulfilling anymore. And around that time, I already knew, okay, I need to do something. I need to do something because the pattern keeps on repeating and repeating. And that led me to the realization that I am the niche. Okay. But that didn't happen just overnight. So that burnout that I was experiencing led me to making the decision of booking a one-way ticket to Bali. I've always wanted to go to Bali. It was already like in the plans for years, but then COVID happened and okay, that's a whole different story. But coming to Bali led me to reconnecting with God. And that was a beautiful thing because when I reconnected with God, I realized that I wasn't just Juan. I am a child of God. And this really ignited deeper clarity and giving me the strength and courage to be able to open up even more about who I was. And I began speaking about my faith and my reconnection with God. And then all of the questions that came through that new experience. And then my queerness as a child of God. And again, all the challenges and that come through that experience. But then also about my troubles being in Bali, being a digital nomad, and then my beliefs about religion and about all of these things that happen in my life. And these are things that I had kept hidden because I thought that people would only like me and follow me if I educated them on Instagram marketing content and AI. The great thing is that these bold moves started attracting the right people. They did repel a lot of people, and that's fine. And that's one of the things, like when you realize that you are the niche, you're not going to be liked by everyone. That's fine. People that might have followed you for your educational content might leave because educational content to be at the end of the day is the same. Like whether you're a fitness coach, whether you're a business coach or a social media manager, the education, like the strategies that you can give your clients to go from A to B are the same. They're always the same. So how can you differentiate yourself, right, from the rest of the people who are sharing the same strategies? It's by embracing the fact that you are the niche and start being bold about your beliefs, your opinions, be controversial, you become a thought leader, right? That's what I really wanted to be seen as, a thought leader, not just as an Instagram coach, right? So you will repel people, but you will also attract the right people. And this is when I had this beautiful realization, and it's now, I think, part of my slogan. And if you go to my Instagram bio, you'll see it there. And that is that we are not niches. We are souls. And our soul is multidimensional, creative, and in constant expansion. So when you limit yourself to a niche, to a box, you're literally cutting that expansion that your soul is craving for, which will lead again into exhaustion, burnout, frustrations, and all the bad things that happen that I'm sure that you probably have experienced as well. So what happened when I realized that I am the niche and that I am the brand as well was this beautiful flow of creative freedom. And I feel that the content that I put out there is actually divine downloads and not just planned content. And I developed a system called the intuitive content creation system, and I'm constantly getting downloads from God in form of intuition, which is these clear ideas of the things that I should be sharing, that I'm being led to share. So now what I do is that I don't even plan this. I just get the idea. I have built a very powerful system with ChatGPT that allows me to translate these ideas into actual structures and formats that work well on social media. So ChatGPT will literally take my idea, and I use the voice memo feature. So I will talk to ChatGPT, like, I just had this idea on X, Y, Z, and I think this is important because blah, blah, blah. And then Chat will take that, it will structure it, it will give me hooks, it will give me the script, it will give me a caption, and I'll just literally record it right away or create the carousel or whatever as soon as possible. And there is definitely a difference in between you getting this download and posting it right away versus waiting a week because you have all this content planned. There's a difference in the energy that is perceived by people and the magnetism that your content can create. So I really encourage you, like, whenever you have this next divine download for a piece of content, record it right away, post it right away. Forget about the best times to post, forget about the best days to post. I don't follow those rules anymore, and it feels much more creative and expansive. Also, when you become the brand, when you are the niche, there's this beautiful energetic alignment, and things that I might have been scared of sharing in the past because they didn't fit my brand or my niche, I'm no longer scared of them, and I'm no longer scared of being controversial. As a matter of fact, I love being controversial because controversy is what will help you build thought leadership. And I'm here to be a leader, to lead a movement, to build legacy, not just to grow followers on Instagram and be seen as the Instagram guy. Another thing that I love about this is that it gives you product freedom. So yes, I can still create offers on Instagram marketing, and the people that are still following me from my Instagram marketing days, they will probably be interested in these offers and buy them. But now I can also build offers on spirituality, or maybe do a workshop on God and digital nomadism. And I know that my soul aligned clients and my soul aligned audience who are following me because of all of these things that I am are more likely to buy from me. So it gives me this freedom of creating everything and then just focusing on one thing. It's also allowed me to discuss potential partnerships with brands, with aligned companies across multiple verticals. So in the past, I would only be able to work with brands that were doing content creation tools or social media scheduling or management tools. I can still do that because I'm still using social media as one of my main forms of business. But now I can also partner with other brands that, are more spiritual, that are more about travel. So there's so much freedom in embracing your multi-dimensionality as a brand rather than sticking to just one topic all the time. And even creating this podcast has allowed me to talk about all of these things and interview people and talk about their multi passions as well, because we all are. And it's beautiful to see that more and more people are starting to embrace this concept of them being the niche. And I feel there's a huge shift happening right now in the online space, because people don't want to follow niches anymore. They don't want to follow content pillars. They don't want to follow education. They want to follow energy. They want to follow a movement. They want to follow those people that make them feel seen, heard, understood, and make them feel alive in some way. So my final message to you is, if you are feeling boxed in your niche, it might be time to burn the box. Your soul is your strategy. Your voice is the brand, and your evolution is the expansion. And again, friend, thank you for letting me be part of this journey. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate it on your favorite podcast platform. If you think it's worth a 5 stars, please give it a 5 stars, because that will really help me push this show in the algorithm and reach more and more beautiful souls. If you're on YouTube and you're new here, subscribe to the channel. I release new episodes every week, and maybe share with me in the comments. Are you ready for a rebrand? I hope so, and I will see you next week for more. Bye.